What's up, traders? Welcome back to Da Nang in Vietnam. I've got my Vietnamese coffee on the rooftop of the hotel I'm staying at with the perfect view on the beach, and this is life. So anyway, today I want to talk about something very serious, which I think a lot of you guys are going to benefit from. We're talking about the beginner day trading mistakes. It's some mistakes people make when they day trade, or just when they trade in general, when they begin in that. And I think that's things that really hurt me in the past, that kind of prevented me a lot from succeeding and seeing big progress. So I want to share those with you, and hopefully that's going to be kind of a reality check for you to not make those mistakes and to kind of go on the right track from day one. If you've made those in the past, no problem, no big deal. Just make sure that you kind of work your way through them and you don't make them again. Like, the biggest key here is not making a mistake, because everyone's gonna make a mistake in life, in trading, and that's fine. So you want to kind of correct and adjust over time and make sure that the mistakes you make, you never ever repeat them, or at least you keep track of them to not do them again. So I want to go through those. These are kind of the big three, but there are a lot of mistakes you can make. If you have any other mistake I didn't mention today, comment below with your thoughts down below in the comment section. I would appreciate it. So that you can help other people, you can kind of point things that you've done wrong or you see people do wrong in the past, and that's just going to be better for everyone here. So comment below what you thought or your mistakes down below in the comment section. The first mistake that I see people make all the time is what I would call turning a bad trade into an investment or something longer term. So you see this like with pretty much easily Bitcoin. People bought Bitcoin a while back. They thought it would like go up and up and up, or they bought like at the top of 20,000, and then they thought it would go really high, but then it went back down to like 6,000, and then maybe even lower than that. I don't follow Bitcoin too much, but the point is that people say, well, okay, so I'm gonna keep it as an investment because I know it's gonna go back up, and that might take a long time. So you want to think about this, like, what if you cut your loss now and you take the money invested in something else, like an investment other than Bitcoin, like a business or like something else trading, and then you double it like in the next, just let's say 2-3 years. Well, so is that better than keeping it in Bitcoin for maybe 5-10 years so it goes back to its original point? And the answer is usually yes. Better to leave with a quick loss than staying in and being stuck for a while with your money in an asset that doesn't produce anything. That's kind of my thought, but like, you never want to turn a bad trade into a longer term thing because you want it to go back up. People reach out to me all the time and they say, well, I took this trade recently and it went to a loss, and I want to keep it till it goes back to making a profit, or at least break even. And I've done this myself so often in the past. In most cases, it's just gonna not produce a profit, or if it does, well, you're wasting your time anyway. So why would you keep a trade that's not right? And you just have to translate this to something else to see how crazy this idea is of keeping something bad and waiting for it to be right. What if a plane pilot would say, well, we'll try this maneuver, seems like the plane is going to crash, but we'll just try to see and wait for it to kind of get back to normal. Like, they wouldn't do this, right? Because it's going to be a mess, it's going to be probably an accident, and they cannot afford that. And you as a trader, if you treat this like a business, can't either afford that. Like, you have to be smart about things, and you have to kind of be there for profit, but not let the losses run and run until like forever. So that's kind of the biggest mistake. And comment below if you've done that in the past. Mistake number 2 is a big one again, changing strategies all the time. I had these people reach out to me like maybe 2-3 years ago when I first started doing videos, and like, I give them so many advice on chats or whatever. I give them everything for free. I was answering their question all the time. I give them like action steps to follow and things to implement and stuff. And most of these people, they still reach out to me today asking me for advice. And I asked one guy yesterday, I said, well, with all the advice I gave you in the past, like all the things that I've set out for you to kind of do and achieve your big goals, you must be profitable right now. Like, there's no doubt. And the guy said like, no, I'm not profitable. And the thing is like, well, why? Well, he didn't implement what I told him to implement. He kind of thought that he had to do something different, or he went and asked feedback from like 5 different people, 5 different traders, and that's gonna just leave you stuck for the longest time ever. If you ask 5 people for advice, maybe like you want to know like what people are gonna say in majority, and you want to follow that advice. but most of the time people are gonna have different advice. And if you are kind of splitting yourself between all those advice and all those action steps, you will never ever succeed. You gotta kind of find an action plan, follow it till you get successful, till you get result, and that's it. It's focus, right? Follow one course until successful, and that's the basic thing. So it works with advice. The other part is like strategies. If you have like 5 strategies you go jump between, or like you try something else, you say, well, I'll try like Etienne's bonjour band because I like it. And then you do it for like a week and you say, well, I had a few bad trades, a few losing trade. I don't think it's gonna work for me. I'll try this other strategy from this person. And then you follow that strategy for like 2 days. You have a bad trade, or like you feel like it's not working right. Then you follow another strategy for like a week. Those things don't lead anywhere. You better take something average, follow it for like a month, and even if it's like producing not good of a result that much, follow it for a month and then see how you can improve it, how you can tweak it for your style, for yourself, for your personality, how you can make things better, as opposed to trying something for like a few days and saying it doesn't work and it's bad. Okay, that won't lead anywhere. And the biggest breakthrough I had in my trading was when I said, fuck it all, and I'll just follow my path and do the strategy and see the result at the end of a month, or at the end of like 60 days. And I just did it, got some results that were okay, and I said, well, interestingly this works. I'll just follow this again for the next month. And then after I kind of added the reviews and the things to kind of go back to and stuff and improve. But overall, that's like the point. Like follow one thing, apply it, see the result, and then tweak it until you get it right for yourself. And you're happy with the result and the profit and stuff. And the other trap here in that point is if you are kind of trying to get the best profit, so like you backtest 5 strategies, you look for the biggest number in dollar amount, well, that doesn't really work, because like you always try to find something better and better and better. And if you chase the money, trading rarely works. If you are focused on yourself and being disciplined and the process, then money usually comes pretty well and pretty easily. Okay, it's just a matter of like tweaking things. So for the longest time I've been looking at the strategies like the biggest P&L, and I found out that I always had this kind of quest for the biggest return, and that I could never be satisfied with the return. Then I heard a coach say, well, if you want to make more money, just like increase your risk and you'll make more money. And that's kind of smart. So something you can do with like anything. You can have a lower return, and average return is always going to be better than big returns, because you can always multiply, you can always tweak things and add things up and change things. So that's going to be better for yourself, okay, in all cases. Now, again, comment below if you've done that in the past. Changing strategies, very common thing, but most people go through that, and that's just something you have to kind of shift in your mindset, of course. Now, mistake number 3 is, if you are especially day trading, we're talking about day trading today, but this applies to anyone. This last tip, this last mistake, is going to apply to mostly day traders, and that's the mistake is not taking into account the spread and the news. Now this is big for traders. So people will shout me all the time and they say, well, I entered this trade and it went to a loss really fast and I couldn't do anything and I'm frustrated and I'm pissed off. And then I say, well, did you look at the news? And they say no. But they're trading like a really low time frame without looking at the news, and that's the worst thing ever. Now this doesn't mean that you have to kind of look at the news all the time and be afraid and focus on like all the news and stuff. It's just the fact that you have to close your trade or move your stop loss to break even before a news announcement that you see important. And I've done that myself in the past. So move your stop loss to break even before the news, or just close the trade. You decide what you do. But you don't have to do it too long before. Do it like 5-10 minutes before the news announcement and you'll be fine most of the time. Okay, so that's very simple. Now the other thing is the spread. So what if you kind of enter a trade, you put a stop loss of like 3 pips and the spread on that pair is like 2 pips. Well, you only have like 1 pip of stop loss. Or what if you even put like 10 pips and the spread is like 2-3 pips when you only have like 7 pips of stop loss, which is very low. Any move could kind of stop you out in the market. So you got to be careful and think about the spread. Calculate this in your position size, calculate this in your profit, calculate all of these things beforehand. You want to be prepared. Otherwise it's going to be really tough and you'll be not happy with the result, wondering what happened. Also, if you put your stop loss like below a low, if that's your rule, like I put it below the low of the candle or whatever, well, think about the fact that you need to count the spread, so put it a little bit more below. Now in stocks, this works wonder. Put your stop loss below the low. But in Forex, you gotta be more smart of putting it a little bit more far, because of the spread, because like whatever other thing you can think about, whatever like crazy theory you have of stop hunting and things. But that's just a fact. Like put it a little bit further than you would in stocks, and you'll be better. Okay. So guys, those are the 3 top mistakes people make. I've seen day tradings, the beginners, they always do this. Hope that can be useful for you, and I have a bonus tip that I kind of want to share, and that is doing things all alone. Now if you do everything alone, it might work well, but there's a saying, right? If you want to go fast, do it alone. If you want to go further and achieve bigger things, do it in a group with other people. And that's kind of the biggest thing I've seen. Surround yourself with the right people, the right traders, learn from people who did what you want to do in life, and I've seen you will reach your result faster and bigger results as well. Okay, it's not only about going far, it's about going faster as well. So for me that really helped a lot. You can be at home by yourself, but for me it didn't work, because you might want to surround yourself with the right people. And you'll see the difference yourself when you start doing this. Now, one other thing is don't sweat it off. Like, look at the big picture view of things. If you are struggling for this month or this past week, think about how far you've come since you started trading. Like, think about everything you've achieved, what steps you've taken. It's really easy as a trader or as a even entrepreneur to kind of think that we're not good enough, or we didn't do enough, or we're kind of always struggling and always like challenged by things. But when you look at the big picture view of things, you realize how far you've come and everything you've achieved and things have worked out and stuff. So that's huge also. So comment below what you thought. As always, I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section. Here are a few comments to pass you. Appreciate you guys always for leaving your comments in the comment section. And the camera's about to fall off because of the wind, so I'll kind of hold it more properly. But yeah, thanks guys for watching. I appreciate it. Subscribe if it's not done yet. And I'll catch you back here in Da Nang on the same rooftop tomorrow. Ciao.